Alright, I know this is very late to do a countdown of February, but it took me a while to see enough films to feel like I can do a countdown. With that said, there are plenty, and I mean plenty of movies of February that I did not see that have piqued my interest. I have yet to see Bad Hurt, Regression, A War, Mountains May Depart, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Sword of Destiny, The Mermaid, Rams, The Club, Grassland, Touched with Fire, Already Tomorrow in Hong Kong, The Final Project, Providence, Embrace of the Serpent, The Last Man on the Moon, Only Yesterday, and I don't think I'll be pronouncing this name right, Nirhaja, or Neerja. Anyway, I did not see those movies, so I can't consider them in the countdown. Maybe they would have made it, maybe they wouldn't have. But let's see what my top 10 of February are. I'll give one honorable mention, and that's to Standoff. My number 10 is 999. A great cast, really decent crime drama, great, very smart action, and an interesting, complex story. The only problem with 999 is we don't get the development of the characters that we need in order to care about them. And to be honest, this probably would have been better as a series or a mini-series rather than a movie. But anyway, I thought this movie had really good potential and I really enjoyed it still. Number 9 is Race, a biopic of Jesse Owens, and a decently made biopic and well acted. Its last act is easily the best part of the movie, and the most exciting part as well, though some of the things dealing with segregation and racism are a little too tame for a movie like this. But otherwise, still a really good movie. My number 10 is Risen. I thought it was a pretty good mystery thriller that could have been even better with a few tweaks. Joseph Fiennes was really great in the role. As far as most faith-based movies go, this is one of the ones I can really get behind and really enjoy. Number 7 may be one of the weaker Coen Brothers movies out there, but a weak Coen Brother movie is still a really good movie, and that is Hail Caesar. I can see why a lot of people didn't like it and were disappointed by it, but I found it really funny, really unique, a dazzling love letter to the films of the 50s, and I do feel there is a story deep within its themes and messages. Honestly, I didn't have much issue with this film. Number 6 is another film that I like more than a lot of other people, and that is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I think most people were expecting dumb action fun such as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And that was one of the reasons I didn't like it, was because the book that it was adapted from was a more realistic take on the whole idea. And knowing what kind of writer this author is, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies sounds like a much more faithful adaptation to the actual book of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Because it's Pride and Prejudice, just with zombies really well integrated into the story. No, I really enjoyed it, but I guess people were expecting something different. Alright, my number 5 is Nina Forever. I won't say too much about this film. I do have a review for it. Just waiting for the copyright dispute to be over with, so yeah, I'm just waiting on that. But anyway, it is a romantic dark comedy with a bit of a horror element mixed in there. It's well integrated and I thought it was really fun. My number 4 is another really fun movie, very inspirational movie. It's had me smiling throughout most of the film. That is Eddie the Eagle. Taron Egerton transforms in this movie. He's a totally different person, especially from Kingsman. Yes, it hits a lot of the same cliches and a lot of the same notes that most inspirational sports movies do, but I can't help but feel this is a solid film that is really funny, really quirky, and just plain inspirational. I have a lot of appreciation for this movie. Honestly, my top 3 movies are well above all the other movies that I've just mentioned, because these other 3 films are movies that I gave over 4 stars. My number 3 is an anthology horror piece from the creators of VHS and VHS 2. It is Southbound. I encourage you to check this out. It is an anthology piece, but it isn't found footage, and there's no one story connecting them all. They just flow into the next story really nicely. I love the whole structure of the film. And while some of the short films are better than others, they're all still solid. For me, the best one is hands down the middle one where a guy hits someone and has to deal with the consequences. That is easily the best one of the 5, I think, short films are in this movie. To be honest, out of the 2 movies I have left, it was really hard to pick number 1 and number 2 because they're both equally great in different ways. I had this same trouble in January, but those 2 are both 5-star movies. These are both 4.5-star movies. I wonder if that's what's going to happen each month. It's going to be too hard to pick a number 1 between 2 movies. I had to pick one over the other, and so my number 2 is The Witch. A really great horror story, period drama, and a character piece of about a family getting so paranoid and turning on each other. It's almost like The Crucible, within a family rather than a town. Now, this is definitely not for everyone. This is a Sundance film, so it's a little bit more artistic, definitely more creative, definitely a little weirder, and they all talk in Old English speech, so that's another thing that people won't like. This is not a mainstream horror movie, but even some indie horror fans might not like it, so it's all depends on your taste on what you like. I really love The Witch. I'm sure you've all guessed what my number 1 is. I have a review for it, but again, it's another one I'm waiting for a copyright dispute to be over, and I've been waiting since, actually, I reviewed it as soon as I watched the movie, and I'm still waiting. It could go as long as the 26th, but I've been waiting from mid-February, I think. Anyway, my number 1, Deadpool. I'm not going to say a lot about it because my review is still waiting and about to come up, hopefully. Anyway, those were my top 10 from February, and I felt this February was really strong. There's a lot of people that were disappointed by some of the films I mentioned, but I really liked all of them, and most of the movies from February got 4 stars from me, or higher. In fact, there are only 3 movies that I've seen so far from February that I dislike, and so my worst of February, it'll only be 3 films. Because I don't want to mention any of the other ones because I gave it 3 stars or higher. Anyway guys, what were your favorite films of February of 2016? I'm guessing a lot of people is Deadpool. Some might pick The Witch. Who knows, there might be a few that pick Hail Caesar. I know a few that still really enjoyed it. I have a feeling some people could pick Eddie the Eagle as well. But anyway, what is your favorites? And if you like this video, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews of these films as well as films from 2015. As always, this is Bruce Gifford and this was Just My Opinion.